this is a resume review of an application support specialist. I typically blah 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 blah. I completely botched that opening, but yeah. So there were a couple of other jobs that this could have been. They put in application support. I didn't know if it was specialist, if it was analyst, if it was engineer. So I'm judging this based on application support specialist, which may not be correct. So hopefully this is the right one. But you will need to be a little bit more specific when you submit to me because I don't know which one you're going for. So let's go in based on this. So they've applied to 100 jobs and gotten no interviews, which is not good. Admittedly, I think the 50-to-1 rule, which is my rule of how many resumes you submit to get an interview, doesn't apply during November and December because scheduling is a nightmare and a half during that time. So if you were applying to about 100 jobs before November and December and not getting anything back, then that's going to be very bad. So let's judge it based on an application support specialist, which is going to require a degree. They're going to want a SQL, Python, PowerShell. I wrote that twice for some reason. Windows or Linux, depends on the environment. Cloud, Office 365, SharePoint, and specifically troubleshooting. So if this doesn't look like this is the right type of application support, because we really have to be specific, there is no common lexicon, unfortunately, in corporate lingo, I will then switch over to more of a formatting thing. So, U.S. Army vet, an IT support leader with 14 years experience monitoring and working with teams of IT from many different departments, managing high-bid projects, value. Yes, I think immediately this is going to not be an application support. This is going to be a different type of one. Provided high expert level troubleshooting across Microsoft platforms, including Azure. That's good. Outlook, Microsoft Teams, managing an average of 20 plus cases a week, maintaining SL compliance, acted as a technical escalation point, resolving critical incidents, led to high case. So this is going to be a tough one to review because I don't think this is an application support specialist. This is more of an application support and whatever this is. So we're going to do more of a formatting issue, and I'm sorry, please resubmit. I just want to make sure you get the help you need, but let's focus and dig down. So formatting wise, I don't know if all of this is needed. Truthfully, if you are a U.S. Army vet, you may want to just have a very quick sentence real quick up top that says U.S. Army vet and IT, and then the name of what you want to apply for with blank years of experience, and that is it. Being a vet can give you a bonus in some of the processes, so that is something that should be ideal. In addition, if you are working for IT, it is beneficial to put your education at the top, because, okay, you're graduating there, so in this case, what you may want to do instead of that intro sentence is just keep these as education in 3 lines and put U.S. Army IT training and leadership training, and then you put Azure fundamentals, and then you have bachelor's of education, which expected 2025. That way you can save space, show that you're a vet, which does look very good on a lot of stuff, and then move forward. So then there's this way that you wrote your resume, and as I've said in other videos, there are 2 primary ways to write your resume. You have mixed those 2 ways together, and when you mix those 2 ways together, they do not go well together like peanut butter and jelly. They go about like nuclear fission. They do not work. So you're gonna need to switch to the other format completely, or the format in my description below. I would recommend, based on the level of your experience, that you should switch to the one I have below. Formatting wise, it should be easier, because escalation and crisis management, I don't think these are going to be the types of keywords, and you don't need to have entire bullet points with them. Now, admittedly, like I said before, these are probably not going to be correct, so I can't judge it based on keywords. My recruiter senses are tingling, and I feel like you may have misunderstood which keywords. So please come on the channel on the Twitch chat. I will help you out there, especially because I want to make sure you can get work. In addition, on a formatting issue, this ended on October 2022. This started on before this job. You really, 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 really want a clean timeline. It needs to make chronological sense. So I don't think that is going to be great. So, and then when you go here with team leadership and mentoring, yeah, I think that's okay. So yeah, I think your formatting is off, and I'm gonna guess your actual keywords and qualifications are off, although it's possible I could be wrong about that. But I don't think that the way you formatted this is going to help you, because what recruiters are going to see is they're going to see this and they say, cool, perfect. And then they're going to look at this and they're going to see customer facing and technical support. And then their eyes are going to go down to escalation crisis management. And then they're not going to actually read this, because here's the thing. Your first set, like, you could just start with provided expert level tech support and troubleshooting across multiple Microsoft plugins. You're hurting your own chances with this, is what I'm trying to say. Is it makes it harder to find the keywords, which I'm fairly certain Azure, Outlook, and Microsoft Teams are going to be it. So this is hurting it because of the bolding. And they may read to here and then stop, but you don't want that because the cloud is important. So I think you need to fix the bullet points and the formatting, and I really hate to say that. Please come on the Twitch channel with me. I want to help you directly with this, because it does look like you have solid experience. Recruiters normally have 15 seconds to find what they need. As I've said, I give these like 10 times more looks than I physically could. And when you are working on 35 open positions with 100 candidates on each, you can't dig down deep, which is around what a lot of them do. So I had between 35 and 75 open positions at the same time. So you want to make sure it's clean and concise and clear, and this formatting is hurting that chances. So I do think cross-functional is probably going to be it. But yeah, come on, let me know what you're actually looking for, assuming it's not application support specialist or analyst or engineer, and we need to be very specific, or just resubmit it with the more specific type of position that you want. So yeah, that's all I can do for this one, and let's move on to the next resume. This is a resume of a backend software engineer. Is it a Java engineer? Is it a Python engineer? Is it a C engineer? I don't know. I do not know. So hopefully I'll be able to find out. They've only applied to one position, which is absolutely no sample size, but let's see what we can do. So formatting is okay, I guess. I'm not a fan of the colors, but it's not really a huge issue, truthfully. So let me fix my camera real quick. Database migration engineer. What the hell? Is this the... Yeah, this is the right resume. Okay, that's not a good sign. Implemented measures to prioritize accessibility, maintain data integrity over the course of 2 weeks. Okay, prioritize accessibility, data integration, and then web developer, e-commerce. Okay, I don't need this. This is all wasted. All of this is wasted. This also can be this can be 2 lines. You don't need to make this 4. So I also don't know what a 8.13 CGPA is. Again, this may be for a position that is outside the United States, which is, I'm a U.S. recruiter. So, but there's nothing here. So for specifically backend, you want to have your tech stack emblazoned everywhere. Like, you want to say, as an example for Python, you want like Python, Django, APIs, SQL, anything with cloud. Those are going to be some big ones. There's a couple of others, I think maybe PyTorch for AI, but I don't see any of that. Like, what I'd like to do is see what kind of tech stack you are. In fact, a good way to determine if your resume is good at a back-end software position is if you send me a backware software engineer position with absolutely with not letting me know what your tech stack is, and I'm able to figure it out like that. That is a good sign, is if you could say back-end software engineer, I'm like, I don't know what, and then I look and I say, it's clearly, Java or Python or C++ or, I don't know, potato ragu. Software names are weird. Okay, so it's full stack, React, Flask. Where's the Python? This doesn't count. So I guess this is it. Where's the TypeScript if it's full stack? MySQL is fine. Python is okay here. See, this isn't okay. Why would you say demonstrated the ability? That sounds weird. Just say used generative AI with Python backend and JavaScript powered front end, making a first plus chapter books. Pioneered a website, give book ideas. Again, PostSQL, pinned a website. PostSQL's fine. AI SQL is good. But, like, I don't know what you are, right? I think it's Python. But you have this, there's more full stack than there is pure backend. This would not fly. Yeah, I mean, I think this is more full stack. But I don't know. There's no way in hell I could move this forward. They would want to see more of the stack. I mean, like, this doesn't tell me anything. There's nothing here that I could use. Like, you can even look on the jobs on LinkedIn and everything. They're not asking for maintaining integrity for the process or clean whatever. They're asking for Python or Java, whatever the backend is. They're asking for SQL. They're asking for cloud. And then maybe a couple of libraries. That's all they're asking for. This is not giving me anything. I have my SQL, which is fine, but I shouldn't have to go all the way down here to see that you're full stack. Except maybe you're not actually full stack. Maybe you're really back end. This doesn't have the keywords for any of this. Yeah, I can't at all move forward with this resume, regardless of what it was. So you need to make it very clear if you're a back-end Java engineer versus a back-end Python engineer versus full stack versus front-end. They are very, very different keywords. Although admittedly, sometimes the Python back-end, there's some cross with full stack and Python back-end, but most of them are going to be different. So I can't move forward with this. Please resubmit. Your formatting is okay, but it's, again, this is not a formatting issue. It's the fact that I have 15 seconds to figure out what stack you're on, and I can't damn well do that with this resume, and I want to. So please fix that, resubmit, and, hopefully I'll be able to figure it out next time. But you don't want your recruiter to be confused. And I have taught other recruiters how to, recruit for tech. When I go in, tech recruitment skyrockets because I know what I'm looking for and I know how to train others on it. So you really don't want to have the especially software engineer specialized recruiter not understand what the hell your resume is. It's not good. So please fix those issues. We need very much clarity. Formatting, I don't think you need to change too much, really, except fix this, make it 2 lines. But yeah, I need to know what your tech stack is. I need to be able to, I need you to show me your resume and I'm clearly able to see based on that, oh, that's what your tech stack is. And I need it in the bullet points. This doesn't count. It doesn't count when it's up here. It has to be in the bullet points. Those are what matters above all else. So I'm not trying to be super critical or evil. I just want to make sure that you understand what you're doing because it's tough. Software engineering is rough right now. It's really, really bad at the time of recording this video, and I want to make sure you stand a chance. So let's move on to the next one. This is a full stack web development, which I assume is going to be close enough to software engineering. Maybe you add, there's going to be a little bit more, such as maybe like the Android and stuff. But this person has had 100 applications and 0 interviews, which is not good. Admittedly, we're in December, so you really, November, December, the 50-to-1 rule is kind of iffy because everything's crazy during that time. But let's look at what they've got, because what we're going to need is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, any extra language, Git, and maybe if you have mobile, it's good too, but that's kind of depends on some of them. So those are what we're going to be looking for. I hate the formatting, but I don't always fully judge on formatting, but it is important. Truthfully, if I had to do a percentage grade on formatting, I think it'd be 30-40% maybe. 20. You can definitely pass with bad formatting if the content is good. So 20% I think. But it's a lot harder, mainly because the formatting is bad. The recruiter doesn't have the time to actually view it. So we've got August. So first off, this is an intern. That's fine. Internships are fine. Led a team of 4 developers as an intern. Also, I can't scroll down or up because they put, again, their whole information at the top. Please stop doing that. I do not need your actual name, number, and address. I do not need that, please. But yeah, they're okay. That's weird that they let a team of 4 developers. Okay, deploying IP a web application used by 500 plus users. Developed email reducing Google cache. I'm just scanning this now. This doesn't count because it's up here. It's not in here. This doesn't count because it's not in here. I'm just scanning this real quick. I don't see anything I need. Yeah, none of this is good. And this is why I don't like bolding, and I'm gonna yell at people for bolding, is because 90% of the time y'all bold the wrong things. I don't give a damn about this. I don't give a crap about this. I don't give another expletive about this. I care about this. That is it. That is what I care about. That is the only thing that matters. So yeah, I can't move forward with this. And even then, I see a node, which is fine, in MongoDB, which can be a keyword in JavaScript, but I don't even see the rest of it. Like, I don't see CSS HTML. I guess CSS Tailwind, but you know, it's possible the recruiter may not know the difference between the two, which, I mean, you know, typically if you have CSS, it's fine. And honestly, everyone that knows it will get mad at this always. They always get mad at me when I mention this in the comments, but I'm sorry, it's important. You need to put CSS and HTML in this. I also don't see any SQL. Yeah, I don't see any SQL. I don't see any REST API. There's API here, right here. But here, look, API would have been better to bold, but not +10. I don't care about this. Stop putting this. Like, you've bolded all the numbers and they're all wrong. You're taking it away from anything that is actually good. Because, like, IPO web development, while not a keyword, could be used by a company for something specific. And API would have been more important than anything else. So there's no way in hell I can move forward with this. The managers would be upset. So yeah, please redo all of this. I mean, the overarching format is fine, but this shouldn't be all bolded. Also, why is this 2 lines? This doesn't need to be 2 lines. This should be 1 line. Yeah, this is not good. I can understand why you're not getting the interviews, even if it is November, December, which is, again, the kind of iffy part where it doesn't count. But please, 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 please fix these issues. This is why a lot of people don't get jobs in this, is because they don't have those keywords. And again, recruiters have 15 seconds to go through your resume. That's it. And if you can find you need in 15 seconds, fine. But your bullying is making it harder. So use my template, my resume template, please. It helps people get jobs. There's a reason it's boring. Boring works. So I can't move forward with this. Feel free to resubmit with the changes, and let's move on to the next one. For the final of this video, we are going to look at a not full stack developer. That is incorrect. Sorry about that. Forgot to change it. It is a front-end dev. So what we're going to be looking for in a front-end developer is JavaScript, React, AngularJS, HTML, CSS, sometimes PHP, depends on the company, SQL, Scrum, Agile, REST for APIs, SEO, WordPress, Git, Docker, Jira, extra languages, that's a bonus, UI, UX is good, and anything related to the cloud. Those are what we're going to be looking for. This person has sent in, it looks like 2 resumes, so that's not enough of a sample size, but let's check out the resume. So we've got immediately their cell phone company, which is, well, you know, this is a contract, which admittedly is, and cell phone company, it's tough because this doesn't really work for backend, but I do know specifically that a lot of UI, UX, and art positions in general are contracted out. So this might be one of those, like, cell phone companies doesn't really apply as a red flag here, although it is better if we can, you know, do a non-cell phone. But let's see what they got. So the develop marketing websites for businesses. All right, I want to know what businesses. That is important. Using, okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node, Angular, Git, Scrum, Agile, and Figma. Those are all the keywords. Grew website leads for business by 15%. Those seem like 2 different sentences. Every bullet point should be a singular sentence. Even if it is, you know, so here's a little bit why I'm not, this is not a bad sentence because it has what you need up front. I am a little concerned though, because it says develop marketing websites for using. I want to know what kind of websites, right? Like, if you are doing contract work or you have your own company, you want to show who you worked with, because if you worked with Billy Bob Billerson, who is 2 streets down and has, owns a house and that's it, which admittedly in this economy is impressive, versus working with, say, Nike or Google, that's very impressive. So it depends on who you were working for, right? Because did you grow all of them by 15%? Built scalable UI components using Tailwind, Next.js, TypeScript. It's fine to speed up front-end development, reduce design development time for future website projects by 30%. It just feels like these are tacked on. Refine UI components for cross-browser compatibility and compliance with web accessibility best practices resulted in a 25% increase. I mean, everything has a percentage, which lowers it. I don't like every sentence using a percentage. So here, as a self-owned, not cell phone, what you can do is say, did the client ask you for more work? Did the client say, this is phenomenal, thank you? Did they send you a kudos? Because just saying, the marketing director of Nike sent you a kudos after what you did for their website is very impressive. But 15% is not enough, because what is it compared to? Was it 100 people normally got traffic to that website and you got 15 extra people? Or was it 15,000 that you got? Like, it's not enough of an information. I do think the keywords are fine, though. And it's just the way you bragged about this is not really great. Made $60K in annual recurring revenue by delivering 30 plus for businesses using Tailwind. Like, again, I don't... That's okay, but what is this? So here's also the problem. 60K in revenue compared to what they were making before. Like, if they were making $2 million, 60K is a drop in the bucket. If they were making $5, 60K is phenomenal. So yeah, and I don't know how you made them 60K. You'd have to describe that. That's kind of my issue with this resume in general. Is you don't describe enough. You're almost there, and I don't think this is a bad resume. I don't want people to think like, oh, it's trash. It's not. I don't think it's a bad resume, but you keep throwing stuff in that's confusing me and the recruiter, and it doesn't give even the hiring manager something to talk to about, right? Like, develop marketing websites for businesses such as using which you do have. Those are correct. Although truthfully, there are too many here. This is... You want to spread these out a little bit. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript should be in a lot of them, but when you are reviewing a lot of resumes for specifically engineers that are very keyword heavy rather than qualification heavy, your mind can go numb, and you may miss the Angular, you may miss the Git, you may miss the Agile. So these are correct. I just want better bullet points to put them in, and you should keep the HTML and JavaScript as well. But, like, you could put a few of them down here. That's fine. So, yeah, overall, I think this can get some work because you do have the right keywords, but the brags don't make sense, nor are they what I would be looking for. So, again, I would say develop marketing websites for blah, 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 if they were impressive, using blah, 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 which allowed them to grow business by increasing SEO traffic from blah, blah, to blah, blah. That is important. The context is missing because, in fact, here is a great one. A 25% increase in website traffic and user engagement could technically be one person. If they had 4 people an average a month and you move that to 5 people a month, that is a 25% increase. So when you are showing a brag, which again is fine to do on a resume, you have to make sure the person distinctly understands why it is important. And I don't know why these are important, right? Because again, it could be phenomenal. Driving 15% increase for Nike is amazing. But if it was 4 people and you drove an extra one, it's not. So again, not bad. Also, I don't know if you need any of this. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it could be improved because, IT is in a slump, and even truthfully, I feel like Frontend has kind of been like the, I'm a redhead, I can say it, redheaded child of the family, is they've always had a tougher time than back-end or full stack to get a position. So I just want to make sure your resume is great. But, hope this was helpful to everybody. Make sure to hit that bell and subscribe. Also, all of my videos, people send me the resumes directly. I do not find them. So if you want to send your resume, find the link in the description below. I'd love to help you out or stop by my channel. But thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Aha!